Everything has changed. This is not the same person you watched years ago. This is not the same YouTube channel you've grown to love through my reactions, reviews, and all that. But then again, the review part, I'll get to just a little later on. But yeah, man, it has been a good amount of years since y'all heard from me. And I'm not gonna be doing this video for too long. It's not supposed to be really a long video. But as far as my time away, as far as what happened since, you know, I've been gone, you know, and just kind of giving you all the insights of everything that I learned. It's one, what would be the first thing? What would be the first thing that would kind of give y'all advice? That was my advice as well. When it comes to trying to build a fan base, when it comes to trying to build, you know, your following and all that stuff, guys, I can promise you right now, do not depend on solely your city, okay? Okay, this isn't like the old days in which, like, whether if you was doing music, anything that was trying to get you known, right? This is not like the old days in which, like, you had to try and, you know, try to get support from, you know, the people in your town, family. Even though it's a beautiful thing if you're able to get that. It's a beautiful thing if you could be able to make it happen. But 9 times out of 10, you will be shocked on how much support you get from strangers and the people you've known for years and all that shit. And knowing the fact that we have access to the world in the palm of our hands, the fact that, you know, there is Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, all this other stuff. It's like, if you learn how to utilize these to the best of your abilities through networking and all that, you will be shocked at how much of a following, not that you can build, but how fast you can build that motherfucker, you know? Remember that shit. Remember that. Another thing, get the fuck off social media. And I know that kind of goes against what I was just saying, but what I mean by get the fuck off social media, I mean, yo, learn to live life, you know? It's like, if you, I learned, okay, all right, let me start off with this. What really made an impact in my life these past couple of months was the fact that I got to a really depressive state throughout 2020. It was an emotional roller coaster, just from the pandemic to just, you know, really struggling and working to, like, build myself up, you know, to work on the things that I've been trying to work on ever since the very beginning. And for those of y'all who's followed me early on, if y'all knew the true intentions of this channel, then y'all would know. But just through all the things I've been just working, the trials and tribulations, it's like I was just going through so much. And on top of that, I'm dealing with people. Now, of course, when I mention, like, just, you know, getting off social media, in my case, you know, it's not the fact that I don't love social media. It's not the fact that I don't love the idea of being able to connect with any and everyone. But take Facebook, for example, and this is something that I was like, you know what, I can understand why so many people so many happy people, so many successful people I know don't really be wasting their time with Facebook. And it's the fact that it's a wild, wild west. It's the wild, wild west, for better or for worse. Outside of Twitter, people be underestimating Facebook, but it doesn't matter how many people on your friend list that you try to, you know, minimize, not in a negative way, but you know, you will limit your friend list as far as the type of energy you want to see on your timeline, this and that. But it does not matter how much you try to adjust, you know, the people that you're following and stuff when it comes to looking down your timeline and shit. But there's always going to be people that slips. There's always going to be people that are on some bullshit. You know, I learned that, yo, 98% of the people on, you know, the majority of social media, especially Facebook, is not about what they say. Or if anything, they put on this front, but they're not what the fuck they are in real life, you know? shit, like people can't even communicate. A lot, you just see contradiction after contradiction. It's like me as a person, right? I'm the most peaceful person you're ever going to meet. Most peaceful person you are ever going to meet, right? But I learned that's not enough. No matter how much I teach about life and hell, trying to communicate with people, it's not enough, because I learned that, you know, the majority of the people I follow, when it comes to the bad habits, it's like, yo, them bad habits they've been working them bad habits for years. Therefore, it's like, imagine how long it's going to take to get out of that time zone. You could have a conversation with someone for hours about so many lessons that they need to apply within themselves, especially when it comes to communication, because that is the number one thing that people are lacking throughout this fucking generation. It's like, yo, you could talk to these people for hours and hours and hours, man, but at the end of the day, a habit, whether good or bad, takes 21 days to break. Okay? And the more, on God, the more you keep applying that bad habit, the harder it becomes to get out of that comfort zone. It becomes embedded in your brain. And that was why I learned to stop trying. If anything, I take the little things more seriously than the bigger things. You know, because it's the littlest things. It always starts off with the little things that leads to the biggest impacts. Period. That's why it's like, when it comes to those little things, man, you get at a person as soon as possible. You hold that person accountable, whatever bullshit that they on. When it comes to that little shit, you hold them accountable as soon as possible. Alright? That's another thing. It's just like planting a seed, man. Literally, in the Bible, it's just like planting a seed. Okay? People could bitch so much. People could act as if, like, yo, this is such a small thing. Why are you tripping? Yada, yada. And it's like, yo, when you plant a seed in the fucking ground, you water that bitch. You can keep watering it and putting all your time and effort into that one seed. Do you not expect it to grow? Do you not expect it to grow? So, with all that being said, man, I eventually got off of Facebook for like over a month. I just recently got back on not that long ago. Well, a completely different mindset. The time I took away changed me so much. It changed me so fucking much. And was like, once again, as much of a peaceful person I am already, that brought me a whole different type of peace I couldn't explain. It brought so much more clarity. It made me appreciate things even a little, like, and once again, I always appreciate things, period. But it made me appreciate things on an even more intimate level, you know? From spending time with my nephew to being able to just look up to, you know, learn more things, and immerse myself in more things. And most importantly, to spend more time with God. The most important thing, to spend more time with God. Hell, to be more immersed in the church, in the church services that, when my pastor was teaching, you know? Just all that shit. And also another thing, I became a leader of the social media department at my church. That's another thing. I run, you know, the church live service on our Facebook group, or Facebook page. You know, I take the pictures, videos, all that shit. And by the way, it's chilly, and this is why I said I'm not trying to be in here for that long. I'm in my mother's shed, you know. So yeah, there's that. In my faith, I've learned to stop just trying to get the word, but also learn to praise and worship, which doesn't always have to be at the church. Not everything has to take place at the church. Yes, to go in the house of God is being able to worship with people like you, and that gives a greater energy and all that shit. But it's a whole other thing when you could be able to worship God and praise Him on your own, including seeking Him and learning His word on your own. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter when it comes to all these people surrounding you when you're in your church. You're in that building for yourself. You're in your building for yourself. The relationship is between you and God. Just how it is with every other person, each and every person in that church. And I ain't trying to, like, you know, be all preachy and stuff, but I'm just telling y'all the things I've been learning throughout the years since my hiatus. Things that's helped me grow. But lastly though, before I go, I've developed so much as an artist. I've developed so much as a writer, a rapper. I can't wait to share with y'all. And with all that being said, once again, this channel is taking a huge turn. It's taking a huge turn. And, oh man, I can't wait for y'all to see what we got. Once again, and I just want to say, let me get this out the way. I'm no longer doing reviews on this channel or reactions. But I will be doing those on another channel, which y'all will get the link to at the end of the video. As far as the music goes, not only will y'all be getting music of course, but y'all will be getting behind the scenes. Y'all will be getting vlogs. We will, hell, be doing some challenges, some fun shit. Everything has changed, and y'all gonna know what I mean when I say that. All right. So, with all that being said, I thank you all. If y'all still rocking with me, I'm happy to be back. You know, I declare each and every one of you have a blessed and highly favored week. And I just want to leave you with this one last thing. And I will see y'all again soon. Dear Mama, never stop being as caring, as loving, as nurturing, like you've always been. To all your children, whether wrong, right, or indifferent. Also, never stop growing, not just as a human being, but as a human being in the eyes of God, in every area of your life, especially as a mother. Because the better you apply that faith onto your children, the greater the blessing your children will be onto you. Coming from your youngest son. Son, your boy, you cry dots.